Alrighty, thanks for watching part one. Part two is going to be a lot of examples, so I hope you guys get a lot out of this and that, hopefully it could save you one day. Before we even get started here, it's really important to understand that your bones are actually really flexible. It's not until you tense your muscles up that they become fragile because your muscles tense up against them and they have no room to bend. So if you're ever going to fall and you stick your arm out in an unnatural way and you tense up, it's going to snap in half really easily. But if you're falling and you have it, like we talked about in some of the rolls, where your arms bend naturally in your, a certain way and you fall, your arms can't be, bent in a weird way and snap in half. Even though I talk about being strong, it's important to be strong when your arms are in a natural bending way. That way you can kind of go with the momentum down the hill and use that to your advantage so you don't end up injuring yourself. So here's times where I committed to the trick and I landed, and there's something really key in this that I want to show you. So basically what I do is I hit the ground first with my feet, so they absorbed a lot of the impact. And then I kind of collapsed it to my back, and I did get a little bit of whiplash, but nothing too crazy. And then after that, once I'm sliding down on my back, pay attention to how I put my feet and my hands up in the air, out of the way. That way I'm not tempted to put them on the ground and try and stop myself from sliding on my back. I was completely safe the way I was, and I decided just to put my arms and my legs out in the open and up away from the ground. That way I don't get, them snapped in half or anything. So I let my feet hit first, and then I put my hands and my feet in the air to get them out of the way. So I just want to say sometimes it's almost nearly impossible to actually, get your feet and your arms off the ground when you're falling. So like right here, this is one of the worst falls I've ever had as far as, like straining my tendons or whatever. See how my foot's actually uphill right now, where the rest of my body's trying to go downhill. Sometimes you just can't get your feet, straight in front of you and you're trying really hard. My ankle, that's why it's important to have your bindings and your dins set right. My dins were probably a little bit too high here. That's why my foot wouldn't come out till right there. And that was pretty bad. I couldn't ski for a couple months after that. So it's just important to know that sometimes it's nearly impossible, and that this is when it's important to have your din set right. So this is one of the rolls we went over in part one, and this one's kind of for when you land switch and you can't take the impact and you're going down the hill, and you want to carry your momentum with you. If you fight the momentum, that's when you start getting hurt. So pay attention here, how I hit the ground and I collapse backwards, and I start sliding down on my back, and there I go again, put my hands, my feet in the air. I typically will do that, and that's kind of how I save my arms and my legs from getting hurt. And I walked up from that, and I wasn't hurt at all. I want to highly encourage you guys always commit to your tricks and that you don't try and bail out of them ever. I used to bail quite a bit, and that's when I would end up getting most hurt. As a coach now, I kind of always tell the kids to commit as much as I can, and even as an athlete, I always try and commit from now on. But I know every once in a while you bail out, and that you can kind of save yourself. But I think commitment is the way to go. Even in this next shot where I did bail out in the middle of the air, I was able to kind of twist myself up to where I was able to land with my feet hitting first, which is what I talked about in part one, about how you can let your feet absorb a lot of the impact so that when you do fall on your side, it's not all the force straight to your side. So watch how I kind of open up and I can kind of twist myself so I can see the landing, and then my right foot hits first and it actually takes a lot of the impact, and then I'm able to hit my back on the ground and kind of slide down the landing. So if you do bail, let your feet hit first. That's the biggest thing I can say. This was my first switch dub attempt, and as I came in, I got lost in the air and I realized I was going to hit the ground. Put my hands out. I actually could have broke my wrist right there. I was lucky I didn't. But then I kind of rolled down the landing. I probably should have been a little bit more in a fetal position. That's kind of always a safe way to do it. And I don't know. There's sometimes you fall and you can't really stop yourself. You can only do so much when you fall. Sometimes getting injured has to happen. It's just too much force to a certain part of your body. That's why it's super important to make sure you nail your tricks on the trampoline and then take it to water ramps or airbags. But always, try and fall down the landing. Go with the momentum. Do the rolls we talked about and went over. Those are really the best ways to minimize your risk from getting injured. But even with all the training possible and all the progression going into it, you can still get hurt sometimes just because of a weird impact. Even on this shot right here, just simply hitting that soccer goal, he tore his ACL doing that. It doesn't look bad at all. We had no idea he was hurt. But just something as simple as that sometimes can really hurt you. So just be safe out there. All right, I think that's everything for you guys. It was a long video, I know, but I think it's going to be well worth it. I made it, and I was thorough for a reason. I think it's really important that you guys learn how to fall. So with all that being said, please go ahead and check out my Instagram, Ski Tutorials, and if you guys want to follow my personal one as well, Molsky17, and then go ahead and check out skitutorials.com. This all helps me produce more content more frequently for you guys. So thanks so much for everything. I'll see you next time.